Welcome back to another episode of Sink or Swim. And today's episode, we have a lot of bad tanks that we are going to be going over. So let's get into the video. But before we get any further, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And I really appreciate all the support I've been getting. So the first tank is not YouTube friendly. Next one. Okay, so this tank is going to be a... what type of tank? Okay, so it has some types of tetras in it, and it has 2 gigantic plecos in it. So this tank is definitely overstocked just because of those 2 plecos alone. There are a lot of fake plants. Wait, there's a 3rd pleco in there. So 3 plecos and a school of tetras with a whole bunch of fake plants and a 30-gallon fish tank. That's not a good combination. A lot of ammonia is going to be in that tank. Nitrates are going to be through the roof. And those fish are living in toxic water. Man, these tanks don't get any better. This is a goldfish bowl, which is basically, it looks like it was a pond type setup, just super small and with the normal size fish in it. So they basically took the idea from a pond and just shrunk it down instead of expanding it. Okay, so this is a goldfish tank on a glass stand that is not big enough for the tank, and also the water is cloudy. So there's 3 goldfish in this small tank, which I assume is 10 to 20 gallons, give or take. And it has fake plants in it, the water's cloudy, and it is on a glass stand, which is all just a great combination for a disaster to happen. So if I was this person, I would replace that stand, get a bigger tank, and probably cut down on goldfish. This tank has a red-tailed catfish in it, which is a gigantic catfish if you couldn't tell. But it also has a pleco in there, which looks like it could fit in the red-tailed catfish's mouth. And if you didn't know, red-tailed catfish will eat anything that could fit in their mouth or they think could fit in their mouth. So even if it can't, they will try to eat it. So that pleco, besides its armor, is probably not safe. And this red-tailed catfish is in too small of a tank. They normally need 1,000 gallons, I think. 500 to 1,000, I believe. And let's go to the next tank. So the water level in this tank is a little bit low, I think. I really do think the water is also a little bit cloudy and the tank is maybe a little overstocked. The goldfish does look like it's cramped in the tank just a little bit. Of course, because this tank is perfect. Oh, my hair is matted down. Okay, so this tank is definitely probably getting clean, but still it is way too small for a goldfish, and also it doesn't look like it has the best type of setup, especially if you're taking everything out, if that is what you're doing, and cleaning it. That means you're getting rid of all the beneficial bacteria. So this tank is definitely not stable. I love me some video games, and this would be actually a good tank, actually, if you set it up right. If you have some plants, some tetras, you could do a little video game theme where like the tetras are in a forest or something. Or you could do like an alien planet if you're into that. But this tank, as long as it's not overstocked, is a perfect tank for someone that's looking for a theme tank. And I would definitely buy this tank if I could. Well, I could. Mom and Dad, if you're watching, don't worry about that. And again, with the bathroom tanks, they are out of hand because, first off, why do you need a tank in your bathroom? And a tank in your bathroom, unless you have a gigantic bathroom, is going to be a small tank that's pushed to the side and doesn't really get much attention. The plants in that tank don't look that healthy. They are like withering away and they look dry. They may be fake, but if they're alive, they are definitely not doing the best. I think those are pothos, and I've had those in my tanks before, and they just take off, and they really take care of those nitrates. It does have a plant in it, so that's a plus. Anyways, this tank is way too small, and if this entire frame is the tank, it looks like it is. It has 3 monster fish in there, and they're just like this. They're just super close together. It does seem like this is just a catch tank, so maybe they will release them, but if even for a short period of time, these fish are probably highly stressed out. considering that the tank is small, packed, and super cloudy. I love disasters waiting to happen, especially with water that can get all over your floor and electrical sockets. If this tank does end up cracking, good luck cleaning that up and explaining that to your insurance company on why you have water damage on your floor. It looks like there is some type of fish in there. I can't tell. The reflection is a little weird, but if the tank is empty, good, because there needs to be nothing in there, and the fake plants don't help at all. But yeah. But before we get to the next tank, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and also share this video with a friend or family member that you think would enjoy it. So let's get to the next tank. So this is a tank at someone's school, and it does have 4 parrotfish in it, and a pleco, and also I think that's it. But one of those, it has, yeah, a pleco. But one of those parrotfish looks like it has a large gash on its side, which looks infected, and that fish is probably in some pain, or maybe a lot of pain, it depends. But that gash does not look healthy, and that fish probably won't be able to last long or live a happy life if that's not treated. It does look like an infection. It's not a gash, but it looks like some type of infection. And let's go to the next tank, which is a tiny bowl. You get this. You get that one. Alright, so the next one is also a tiny bowl, but it's a small betta fish, and it's active. So I don't have much to say on this one. It's just a bad tank. It's super small and doesn't have much hiding. Well, no hiding, and any rest spots for your betta fish besides the bottom. So let's go to the next one. Man, what is it with? Is that a TV holder? Like one of the things? Nope, that's the actual stand. I was about to say, that looks like one of the things that you put on your wall to hold a TV up. But this tank has way too many goldfish, and they probably definitely got inspiration from the pet store. They probably saw the 15-cent goldfish and got a whole dozen of them and just threw them in a 30-gallon tank and called it a day, because at least they have filtration and at least the water is clear. The heaters are not necessary. There's also some hiding spots. Well, a hiding spot. So this tank isn't that bad, but it isn't the best. Isn't that bad is an understatement. It's terrible, but it's not terrible, but it's like slightly less terrible than the other tanks that we've been reviewing. You get what I'm saying? Okay. This tank, well, this vase would be great if it was just that. You could probably put some shrimp in there temporarily, but fish in there is just pushing it. It's definitely pushing it, and especially the amount of fish that you have in it is pushing it to the next level, and it is making it just overstocked and stressful for those fish. Okay, the next tank is, of course, SpongeBob themed, and also has colored gravel. Man, I can't speak today. But this tank, I'm assuming there's a fish in there. The tank is cloudy and dark, so I can't really see, but it does have grass growing out of it, which helps with the nitrates. But that tank is so cloudy, it doesn't really seem like the plant's adding much benefit, if any at all. I've seen tanks like this before, and I think I reviewed one in one of the earlier episodes of this. If you haven't watched those already, I recommend going back after you finish this video and watching those. But this tank is definitely overstocked, and it doesn't need fish in it. It's a easily planted tank. You could add some rocks in there, make it look a little nicer, but it does not need fish. And yeah, and it's outside, so the temperature, if you're leaving them out there, is going to change rapidly. And if you're just keeping them in there for the video, it's not the best for them, because they're going to be stressed that you're taking them in and out of their tank, or whatever you're holding them in that time. I kind of went off on a tangent there, but let's get to the next video. I mean, clip. Man, what am I doing today? I really can't think today. I blame all my exams and stuff and testing and track practices. Maybe I should sleep more. Nah. Okay. Next tank is a red-tailed catfish, Oscar trout, no, smallmouth bass, and a pleco. I think that's smallmouth bass. But that red-tailed catfish alone overstocks the tank. As you could tell, red-tailed catfish get massive, and they get massive fast. They need a huge tank. They look like mini sharks swimming around, and they eat absolutely anything. So every fish in this tank except the red-tailed catfish is in danger of the red-tailed catfish. The red-tailed catfish might even try to eat itself. But this tank overstocked. The filtration has to be good because the tank is semi-clear. But still, people could do better. Like, a tank this big, there's no reason it should be overstocked with gigantic fish. You could do a whole school of tetras. You could do 20 tetras in this tank, and it would be still understocked and still look beautiful. Just saying. Why do people keep fish if they're just going to do this? Like, man. Like, do you want to wake up or be trapped and see a face that's looking like this at you? Like, man, I can't do that. That would creep me out, and I would probably die of embarrassment for them. But yeah, I would not recommend this. This is probably for a newspaper, but I don't like the setup at all. If you couldn't tell, I don't like bowls for real. Unless they're gigantic, I don't like them. A glowfish tank and lots of colors everywhere. Just a party, I guess. But this tank is definitely a lot for the census. Let's just say that. A betta fish tank that is semi-good, but if it was just a little bit bigger, this tank would be perfect because it has plants, it has the lighting, it's clean, and it has a cleanup crew. So this tank is nice. I would just recommend getting a bigger tank, and it has a filter. That's a bonus. So this tank isn't too far off from being amazing. Just try to get a bigger tank. Wow. That's a lot of fish for a new tank with fake plants that don't hold as much bacteria on them to keep the tank stable. And that's a lot of fish. Like, a lot of fish. That's at least a dozen goldfish, which are just waste machines. They just make waste 24/7, constantly making waste. So that tank's going to get dirty really fast, and it doesn't look like it has filtration in it, unless that little black bar at the top is on the back of the rim of the tank. But if that's not filtration, this tank is just a death sentence for these fish. It's like 2.5 gallons. I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt with that. Next tank. The fish are literally swimming in their own poop with this one. Like, when is water brown like that? Besides, if you put mud in your tank, I doubt you did that. Well, you might have, knowing how some people are. Me. Yes, I've tried to put mud into my tanks so I could plant plants in them, and it didn't work out. I saw it on YouTube. I was like, ooh, this could work out. And then, boom. Yeah. But this tank, it didn't get off the hook with that tangent. This tank is definitely dirty because that is a lot of fish poop that had to build up over time. And why would you even take a picture of this? You know you're going to get roasted on my channel because guess what? You shouldn't be keeping fish. So the next tank, well, this is a case of animal abuse because if you look at this, they put a goldfish into a thing and it's just like pushed up against it. It can't even swim and it's bouncing up and down off of the tank, and this is just straight up animal abuse. This is actually probably worse than the other things that we have seen, the other tanks that we have seen, because it's actually causing immediate harm to the fish. The other stuff is like slower, but this is traumatizing the fish and immediately hurting the fish. So And for you to be in the mindset to do this to a fish, to catch the fish and then put it in between those two chopsticks or whatever, is annoying. And they probably named this fish sushi. And the tank is actually halfway decent. See, it's a goldfish tank with a lot of goldfish and it's clean, but they had to do this one thing. Just had to. Okay, so a bottle, like a smaller bottle next to that tank is bigger than the tank. Well, about the same size as the tank. And there's 2 goldfish in it. I'm going to let you comprehend that. A tank the same size as a Coke bottle or something like that. That is too small, and you should know this. And if you are in your right mind, you will never put a fish in something like that. So why in the world are people doing it? Why? Why is there a betta fish in another vase with the entire lid blocked off so there's no air circulation? There's plants in it, that's a plus, but still, you don't need a fish. You can provide nutrients to your plants other ways besides torturing a fish where it slowly dies in a trapped environment. That's like putting a person in solitary confinement and saying, oh, and just leaving them there and putting a tree over top of them and waiting for the tree to grow. Think about that. Again with the small tanks. And it says that Pet Store said 1 goldfish for every quarter gallon. That is crazy for anything. They said 1 inch per gallon when I started the hobby. And now it's a quarter gallon for every fish. Goldfish. Goldfish get a foot long. A foot long. And that is bigger than any tank that is a quarter gallon. And I could guarantee you that. Any tank, a quarter gallon, a goldfish is bigger than that. And you have 3 of them in this small tank with fake plants. Why are you keeping fish? That's my question. Why are people like this keeping fish? Let's go to the next one. It would really be appreciated if you hit that like and subscribe button and leave a comment down below letting me know that you made it this far in the video. It really means a lot to me and it really helps out the channel as far as growth. And my channel has just been growing extremely fast so far for this year, much faster than it did last year. And I put that in part because more videos are getting put out and also the support of you guys. I really do appreciate it and I hope that it continues. And I'm just so thankful for it. And let's get to the next tank. A nightfish in a 70-gallon tank is super small for that fish. Nightfish are one of the bigger predator fish that you can get. And a 75-gallon is only 4 foot long. And I have one over there with that secret reptile in it. 75 gallons, 4 foot long, about 2 feet deep and 2 feet high. Almost, not exactly 2 feet. It's like 18, and 48. But the tank is not big enough for a nightfish and a tiger Oscar. The tank is definitely cloudy and dirty, so the filtration is not up to par. And a nightfish, I think it needs at least 1 set 25, I think. Don't quote me on that. Leave it down in the comment section below if you know. But they need a bigger tank than a 75. I know that for sure. And if I'm wrong, the tank is still cloudy. There you go. And it has another fish in it, an Oscar, which needs 75 gallons alone. So even then, the tank is still overstocked. See? I'm not wrong in this situation. When did you get the time to put or make tanks, like fabricate, well, not redesign, like make it so that the tanks could fit on top of your car, like see, like the headrest, and then you put fish in it and it looks like it's summertime. And if you know anything about a car in the summertime, once you get in that car, it's a oven and it is hot in that car. So you just can imagine how many sets of fish this person is going through as that car continues to heat up. Cars could get over 100 degrees in the summertime. Let that sink in. that water is going to be hot. Goldfish are cold water fish too. So that means they're going to be way out of their comfort zone. They like it in the 60s to low 70s. 100 degrees and up is way too hot for them and any other fish for that matter. So why do you have that in your tank? Probably just to get attention. But I don't recommend getting attention this way. There are much better ways to get attention. These are vases with lights on them, so they're glorified vases, basically. And they're being advertised as betta fish aquariums. They're vases, not aquariums, people. Don't buy these, please. Unless you're putting flowers in them for your mom. Mother's Day is coming up, so make sure you buy your mom something nice. Just saying. That's your reminder. Your one reminder. Don't make her upset this year. Anyways. Vases are for flowers, not fish. Please understand that. Unless it's a giant vase, like a huge vase that's super tall. Even then, well, you could still get some fish in there. According to these people. A blender. Really? You put a betta fish in a blender. I can't with people. Like, if you can't afford a tank, the blender was probably more than an actual 10-gallon tank and a simple setup. Well, probably just a tank on sale. But still, if you don't have enough money for a setup, don't get the fish. And if you don't have enough money at the time, but you plan on upgrading in a reasonable time, still consider if you really can upgrade in that reasonable time. Because life happens and the finances might not be there when you need them. So please don't get into the trap of, oh, I'm going to upgrade the fish in a few months and never upgrade the fish. I get it. Things happen. You want the animal, you buy the animal, and then you realize, oh, I won't be able to upgrade it. You could rehome it. You could save money and just to upgrade the tank. And if you really love the animal, you're going to do what's best for the animal and not what you want. A tiger Oscar in a bowl front that is almost under halfway full. Well, around halfway full. Tiger Oscars, and this is a full-grown one, which needs at least 75 gallons alone. They put more attention into the stuff around the tank than the actual inside of the tank. And the Oscar does not look happy. And it's probably going to rearrange that tank a few times to get off some steam. They basically just put a whole bunch of fish into a cup and called it a tank. I hope this is just for a water change or for them to take out the females from the males so the guppies don't keep breeding, because guppies do that. So I hope this is just for a transport to another tank in the same room or same house. If this is where they're permanently keeping the fish or for an extended period of time, please stop keeping fish. Just please stop. They took green water way too far. Like, this tank is just green. It's like one of those ponds that are very long, like very green, like just has green everywhere. Like, algae is taking over this tank, and that means you're not doing water changes, you're overstocking the tank, and this tank is very neglected. So I would recommend taking some of those fish out, adding a better filter, doing a lot of big water changes. And if you do want to keep the fish in there, you're going to have to continue doing those big water changes. The tank is very clear, like everything on the tank is clear, like it's clear or white. So this is a very bright tank. Glowfish in it, overstocked, super small, as normal. I'm going to end the video there because I am getting a little tired. I've been recording for 30 minutes. Can you believe that? 30 minutes almost. So it's probably going to get cut down a lot, but still, 30 minutes of talking is a lot for me. I barely talk on a normal daily basis, if you couldn't tell. But thank you for watching the video. And if you made it this far, make sure you go check out the playlist for this series, or go check out one of my YouTube shorts. It really helps out the channel. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and is well appreciated. And I'll see you all in the next video, which is probably going to be a continuation of this, because I have a lot more tanks for this. I haven't even got to the TikToks. And I'll see you all in the next one.